Hey guys, today's we're switching up the environment a little bit in a different co-working space, but hope you enjoyed and with some nice background music. In any case, I have two very interesting topics to share with you to discuss today, which are first rely on data, which is kind of simple, but I have a different. I want to discuss it from a different angle, which I've learned for myself. And second, rely on the perspective of different people with different experiences and understand the experience of people. So we're gonna start with the first one. Rely on data. What I mean by that is in marketing, in e-commerce and business especially, of course you're gonna rely on data. Like there's nothing really else you're gonna be making the decisions off of. And even if you don't have any data, use assumptions. Assume. Don't predict that something will happen. Assume. Nothing is guaranteed, especially in business. So in obviously like running ads, that would be data about the ads, the results of the ads, engagement, etc. But that doesn't only mean that you should focus on like get rid of what's not working and try something new, because that's how you're gonna spend the majority of your time, is like looking at what doesn't work and like trying something new. But besides that, you need to be completely open to what might work. There's so many ads, so many products, so many projects in general actually that you will start, you will do, you will launch, and what's gonna work might not be what you thought would work, or even like you thought might be nice to in general to be feasible, right? So it happens sometimes. It's kind of like a funny, it's kind of like an irony. Like you launch it, like you actually put effort into it, and then when you get to the point to like analyze it, like see how it worked, and if it worked or didn't, then you kind of like your internal sort of like biased expectation is, okay, it didn't work, I want to switch on, I want to do something else, something new, either because you are tired of working on that, or because you have no creativity or no more courage, or you kind of didn't believe at the start, so like you just want to do something else, and then it works, and it just works comparing to everything else that you believed in it that didn't work. That happens sometimes. That happened to me, and my brain kind of in that moment like tries to rationalize why still like this thing, even though it's worked and I kind of felt happy, I still should do something else. But then even me like explaining it out loud to some people and really like describing the whole situation and my question, like what I should focus on, I kind of answered it myself. Like it's so dumb if you actually put it on paper and like describe what's happening. Like, hey, this worked, this didn't work, I want to focus on something third. Why? You have data now. Like, go ahead, especially when something worked. So that happens, and I think in e-commerce that often happens with ads. Like when you launch ads, so you launch your product, and you're like, especially when you do a lot of it, you launch like, I don't know, like 10 new ads a day. You're kind of like, I don't know. It seems like not something I kind of like see potential in, and then it completely like blows up, and you kind of think like what the hell, like why? Especially the question of why, like why it worked. That's the most confusing part, but you have to identify it. Like there's a lot of situations where you're not gonna understand why, and you have to try and dig deeper. That would be with stuff that doesn't work that you had a lot of belief in. Similarly, that would be with stuff that you had no belief in and it worked. So rely on data, rely purely on data. And if you don't understand the data, ask someone about the data. Like ask ChatGPT even, like explain properly, like, hey, this is what happened, this is exact results, this is like a whole situation. What does it tell me, like rationally? Because you are biased, you're extremely biased. Even if you're going to be searching up something, and you, especially if you're really like convinced in yourself and you've narrow-minded sort of, you will be looking for proofs of your own concept. You're going to be trying to find the proof that you are right, even though you might be not. So in that case, what I'm trying to convey here is always be completely emotionless when it comes to deciding anything related to business, like either fire or hire someone, put more ads, invest more in ads, invest more in that. In general, like invest or not. Whichever decision, have a sort of SOP, have a certain operation procedure about what happens then, what happens when, and make decisions out of that, like based on that. Because if you're just gonna make decisions based on your own assumptions or your feelings or whatever else, gut feeling, that would lead you to nothing, right? I mean, maybe you're gonna get some experience over time, probably you will, but you cannot rely on that all the time. Like, and at the end of the day, you want to structure that. You want to structure decision making. Like, you make decisions based on this, and this, based on this protocol or this document. So even for yourself, it's gonna help you because there's so many, like, businesses basically made the decisions, and they're gonna help you. It's gonna help your team over time. Even if you don't have anyone right now, it's gonna help you, your team in the future when you're gonna be hiring people. So rely on that. That's such an important point. And completely trying to get rid of all biases which you have. Whatever you think you want to do, or whatever you think you shouldn't do, you should base that on whatever happened before. So take, like, I don't know, you launch like 5-10 different ads for the product, like different creatives, different styles of videos, different styles of images. Something worked, kind of, something didn't. Why? Right? Why? So, like, what's the pattern? Do you see the same kind of avatar or the same language you use in certain creatives that do work and that didn't? And even if you feel like you're spending too much time analyzing, sure, of course, don't overanalyze. Find a structure for analyzing that yourself. Maybe ask someone, ask ChatGPT. As I said, like, have a kind of like procedure for analyzing your metrics in general, but in the same time, do it. Like, spend time on that, because if you just start working on something new, you're gonna move in a completely different direction to what you could have been moving, and that would be the right direction. So direction is often way more important than just taking action. So that first. My second point for today was actually also about decision making, but this one regarding the people. I think in business, especially when you're starting out, and honestly, anytime I try and practice it myself, is talking to people, right? Asking people, kind of consulting with people a little bit on what to do, where to go, how to figure something out, etc. Like all the questions. Honestly, I try to be as kind of like open-minded about that as I can, because like if I'm so convinced in something, like, that usually means I'm not learning anything new. So it's very dangerous to think that you know everything. So, but when you're asking people, know who they are. Like, have some proofs and have validation of the person, right? A lot of people will be telling you a lot of good things, a lot of really helpful things, but by far not every human is understanding what they're saying. So even though a lot of people would want to help you, they want you to succeed, etc., but that sometimes is dangerous. Like, they would tell you to do this and this and this and this, not because it's smart, but because it's easier, or because it's what they know. But how do they know? And maybe they don't know. And they're not going to be talking from a perspective of someone to help you achieve your goal, but someone who they want, like, they have a different goal, right? And that's how they're going to make the decision of telling you certain things. So what I mean by that is, and what I do personally is I always consult with a few different people. If it's really important decision to make, I first discuss it with myself, discuss it with ChatGPT, kind of write it down, understand what's going on. Talk to a few people, talk about it out loud, with 3 different people. Like, even it can be completely different people. It could be your grandmother and could be like your business partner. Imagine how different of a perspective you get, but in any case, it's a perspective, it's an opinion, it's something real, something tangible. So use that for sure. And especially it helps with the really important decisions in life in general, to be honest. And besides that, the more you talk about it, the more you're gonna understand it. Like, I believe any decision is really the depth of your understanding of it and different angles of it. And you might not have like a huge realization, but you're gonna be more convinced in a decision, in a decision, because you're just gonna have more perspective and more thought put into it. That's what's important, truly. And that's what I do, and I believe that can help anyone, to be honest. Of course, don't overthink that. Have a sort of like a balance of decision making yourself and with others, and then you also have to learn and make mistakes by doing a lot of things yourself. But I'm never trying to like hide away from people. I always kind of use all my cards, and people is one of the most valuable sort of assets that I have. And yeah, that's why feel free to connect with me. I'm always down to meet more people, especially in the same space. But for today, that's it, and I hope that helped, and I hope you enjoyed the new settings of today. And yeah, enjoy.